Thank you very much, Trace. Well, today is celebrating 30 years on air, and in that time we've covered every major news story from the triumphs to the tragedies.
So let's take a look.
The day of tragedy and heartbreak for thousands of people in South Australia and Victoria. Channel 9 reporter Shane Mooney has spent most of the past 12 or so hours in the Dandenong Ranges in Victoria. Shane, have you ever seen anything like this before?
Nothing at all, and I hope I never ever see anything like it again.
Tell you what, any boss who sacks anyone for not turning up today is a bum.
Challenger, go at throttle up. Challenger, go at throttle up.
Patrice, we're going to cross to the CBS network.
We are. President Reagan is waiting.
Today is a day for mourning and remembering.
Do you not feel like a lame duck leader? There's somebody caretaking until Sir Joe arrives?
Oh, don't you worry about that.
So you're on your way to Canberra, seriously now?
I honestly, yes.
You're with us here in the Bolanglo forest of New South Wales, where the remains of 7 murdered backpackers have been found, 2 of them yesterday.
We'll cross to Steve Liebman at the moment at the scene at Cabramatta. Steve?
Yes, thanks, Liz. Police are just removing John Newman's white Ford Falcon. Mr. Newman drove into his home at about 9:30 last night in this sedan. It was then that he was shot. Coming to you this morning live from Hobart. There is a profound sense of shock right across Australia this morning after yesterday's shocking events at Port Arthur.
Good morning and welcome to the program, coming to you this morning from the Thredbo ski village, the scene of yesterday's tragic collapse of 2 ski lodges. You can probably see on the hill behind me, rescue work has picked up pace a little overnight. Dame Barbara, thank you for joining us. How are you coping?
Well, I was terribly upset and I could hardly believe it.
Welcome to Hawthorn Station, the centre of what they're now calling the Great Drought, the one that is seriously threatening the nation's grain crops. The equation is quite simple here. Unless they get rain within the next 2 or 3 weeks, the crops, those that are left, are going to be reduced to dust.
We're here at Goulburn in New South Wales, which is so dry like so much of the country. This grass here would normally be high and lush. At the moment, there's next to nothing. The earth is just so dry. The farmers are struggling to remain on the land.
Well, the sun is up now here at Katherine. It's around 10 to 7 local time, so I guess that means that pretty soon the clean-up work will begin here again.
You go on, you man up and you go on. It's terrific stuff from the Queensland people who have been so badly affected by these floods.
Like everybody else in Brisbane, I've been mesmerised not only by the speed and the volume of this water racing through the heart of the city, but with the junk that it's bringing with it. We had the rather bizarre experience, Carl, of motoring in a boat through the gates of the Forex brewery. Some of the workers started to come down and they assured us that the brew house is intact.
We're actually in the Canberra suburb of Duffy, which is on the western perimeter of the capital. This is the suburb that was hit worst by Saturday's firestorm.
You know, your boy, your son, says that you're a hero.
No, I'm not a hero.
You are, aren't you?
No. I just did the Christian thing and helped someone. My statement is I don't need to go to church because I've seen hell. And that's what this was.
Can you believe the community spirit here?
Oh, no, it's just fantastic. It's just fantastic, yeah. It's just amazing. I cannot believe people are so generous.
There are some 10,000 Australians who live and work in New York City, another 2,000 in Washington. One of those 10,000 in New York City just happens to be my sister Wendy. Tell me what's going through your mind.
It's just a devastating feeling. If I looked south, I could begin to see billowing clouds of smoke.
You were at the back of the Sari Club, and I gather that you think that's what saved you?
Absolutely, that's correct. It was just fate that we'd gone to the bar, which is at the front, bought a drink and decided to sit at the back, and less than 30 seconds later, the building blew up.
This is Legion Street, and behind me is the site. We've climbed up to give you a bird's eye view of the site of the Sari Club with some expat Australians who are over there paying their respects to people who lost their lives. OK, PM, you're talking to Australia now. We've just got a local lady who's just yelled out, do you want to declare a national day off?
Well, I wouldn't object if anybody to echo the words of one of my predecessors. Any boss who sacks anybody for having a day off in Beaconsfield is not real good.
Congratulations, Mr. President. All the best wishes.
Such a tremendous response from this massive crowd that had gathered in the mall between the Capitol building and the Washington Monument.
You brought us the news first. Carl, what's the feeling down there at the moment?
Certainly it appears as though as of 9:30 this morning we had our first female Prime Minister of this country. We drove through some of those areas late yesterday. Have a look at the damage. Look at that car that has just been completely smashed. It's got clear on it because no one was inside. That's what emergency services have had to do, go around to each and every one of these vehicles. It's a horrible feeling to be standing here in the middle of what was once a community. Think about the force of nature that came through here and wiped this place out. Homes have been taken from the foreshore there and they've ended up here on top of each other on their roofs. Cars the same. Livelihoods have been smashed here, blown away by this tsunami. There's no one here. There's nothing left. Well, hello and welcome to a royal wedding day in London.
Nobody cares what the weather's going to do today. Everybody has turned up to celebrate. There is an amazing, amazing atmosphere here in London. Well, there she is, the Queen, looking as graceful and poised as ever, sitting with Camilla and Charles.
The past few days have been truly remarkable for the Queen and the royal family. Just look at them up there, soaking up the adulation and the adoration from this adoring public here in Great Britain. Are you the most nervous man in Britain?
I'm not nervous, I'm excited. You know, we've been doing this for 7 years. It's been an extraordinary journey. And we've even reduced the price of beer in the MPC and the Broadcast Centre.
What, just for me?
Yeah, no, we reduced the price of beer.
You're the man. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Kimberly Crowe, welcome back to Australia. Are you getting a sense now of just how much support there is for you back home?
I had absolutely no idea. It's really quite amazing, and I just feel so lucky to be an Australian.
Coming home. There you go, huh?
30 years.
Amazing 30 years, amazing
Incredible.
30 years. We're making another...